appreciate your patience. That said, the discussion we had in there, let me take care of business first. For the record, only those items that were listed on the agenda were discussed during that time. We do have some decisions to be made, but they're listed on the agenda, we'll get to those. It's pretty clear that there's a lot of information, more information that needs to be gathered by the council, by the community, before any decision is made on this. We'd like to have a town meeting or a public forum scheduled for March 11th, somewhere, where you get more than 3 minutes to make a statement, and there is a community communication channel open, so that everybody gets a better understanding of this issue. It's pretty complex, and there's a lot of angles to it that I know the council needs to better understand. We need to get LCCA down here. The dispatchers and the community sitting in one place, probably the community center would be better. And to have this kind of turnout when that happens. It's pretty complex. To me, and from the feeling I got from the council, we're pretty independent people down here, and we like our autonomy. And if we can take steps to maintain that, then we should. We need to look at what might be coming down the pike in the future as far as communication on the emergency channels go. That's what I suggest. I know that we talked about, let's broaden this a little bit more than just a 3-minute spiel at the podium. Now, if you have something you'd like to say and take you 3 minutes right now, that's fine. But we are going to schedule a more expanded opportunity for the community to engage this issue. Would y'all agree with that? Are y'all good with that?
Thank you.
I
Yes.
think it's important, you know, and there wouldn't be a decision made tonight anyway, because we just don't have a good, full understanding of such a complex issue that affects the entire community. I would like to clarify a couple of things. I read in the newspaper where I had indigestion. Well, I had indigestion, I don't know how long. And then I growled something. I didn't growl. I worked in Wesley's office when he was on the phone with Levi, because I made him put the door between the two offices, and I simply hollered at him, hey, we're not gonna have a clown show. Very seldom have a clown show. Well, I wouldn't refer to anybody in particular being clowns. But let's take the opportunity as a community, as a collective, to better understand this issue and decide, hey, how do we do this? Would y'all agree with that?
Yes. Good enough.
I don't have the clipboard. I know there's gotta be a number of names on there, is it? Chuck or somebody. Now, don't jump up here and show off. We have PJ, Jillian, Destiny, Inez, Larry, and Lisa Lou. Y'all wanna speak now? You wanna do it as a public meeting? Well, you're here if you want 3 minutes.
Can I just stay right here?
Patty, you can, but I need you to give your name and your address for the record, please.
PJ Parker, 804 Mesquite Drive, Chow.
Okay.
I have a paper with several names on it that are citizens of Chow that do not want the dispatching moved from Chow. But this may be changing with the more information that we know. That as of now, a lot of people don't want this. We want to keep it here in Chow. And we hope that the council will make the right decision that is beneficial for the community. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to the mayor and the council staff. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you want this list, or do I hold it?
Yeah, we'll get it, you know,
Thank you.
Of course you don't want it.
oh, excuse me, Jillian was first.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jillian Hobson. I live at 1006 Oak Street here in Jow. I am a dispatcher for the Jow Police Department and have been for close to 4 years now. Our team are certified dispatchers with a combined amount of 30+ years of experience in dispatching. We as dispatchers have many duties, including but not limited to radio traffic and phone calls, entering citations our officers issued, entering warrants for our municipal and magistrate courts, as well as maintaining bonds in the form of cash or money orders. When officers make an arrest, dispatch is responsible for feeding and constantly monitoring the offenders. Dispatch further assists with walk-ins and notarization of legal documents for the public. We maintain records and perform secretarial duties for our officers. On occasion, dispatch is requested by officers to sit with children who need assistance. I have personally sat with children while we wait for child advocates to arrive in jail. There are numerous unseen and thankless duties dispatch performs on a day-to-day basis to serve our community. Some of which is not required of us, but done to build positive community relations. I would like to address that I was one of the dispatchers that applied for another position in the city of Jowell. But I did not have no intentions of causing any harm by doing so. I simply did so for the sake of my family. I would like for everyone to understand the stress and uncertainty that we have been facing with our careers on the line and still having to perform our daily tasks. I would like to thank everyone for the opportunity of speaking. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Hello, council. I'm Destiny Rodriguez. I live at 608 South 4th Street. I'm a dispatcher for the Job Police Department. I am also the evidence tech. I have been with the department on and off for the last 10 years. The reason we stand before you is because the consideration for consolidation has been brought to our attention. We understand that we've had some issues with dispatch. One of our major issues being our radio equipment. Although we have attempted to find resolutions to this issue, these attempts have been unsuccessful, as the equipment is outdated. It is believed that consolidating with LCCA will resolve the following radio issues. However, should dispatch be granted the appropriate funds to replace the outdated equipment, Job Dispatch will provide to its emergency personnel the same, or if not better, quality of service as LCCA. There are numerous reasons for the consolidation that would be initiated. Just to touch on a couple reasons why we should not consolidate, we would like to inform you of the following. Our city already receives delayed calls from LCCA. So people calling 911 are already experiencing 5 to 10 minute delays of service. Most of LCCA's dispatch have never been to Jowell, nonetheless know our citizens or our community. Consolidating would mean this first responders protocols would change. They wouldn't be realistic for our small town. They would send our fire units out to oil spills on battle apps or pipeline, instead of having those resources in town. I grew up here, my whole family's here. My mom, my brothers, both sets of grandparents, my in-laws are here. The safety of them and our community means so much to me. They all call our 2501 number. Not one of them call 911. And my grandma calls regularly. It would just be great for us to have dispatch here. Because we have so many that we already know their voices. Because they've called or we spoke to them our entire lives. Thank you for your time.
I never saw you write that much when you were.
It's all the things like this.
Hello, my name is Inez Vargas, and I've been with the Jowell Police Department. I have been dispatcher for a decade now. Some of our major roles include record management along with everyday dispatch duties. As said before, we currently have jail cells to detain people who have been arrested by Jowell police officers. Getting rid of our dispatch would mean that they would no longer be able to house prisoners. They would have to take the prisoners to LCDC, in which the city would have to pay LCDC to hold the prisoners with our municipal charges. The protocols they have do not allow them to dispatch or pass on information until they get a certain amount of information from the caller, which means time of their response is being delayed. We also have a lot of the community that have personal numbers with the chief, other officers, EMS personnel, and they will no longer be able to self-dispatch for the community. Our agency is a very family-oriented agency. We care about the safety of our police officers, fire, and EMS personnel. All of our families have been here, and our kids go to the job schools. We grew up here, we know the area. We have answered the phones long enough to know their voices. Keep our positions is not about money. It's about the sense of safety and security of our community. And like I said, I've dispatched for 10 years. I've had my numerous calls. I've had my pursuits around town. I've had my suicide calls. I've had my kid calls, and I love it. I love my job. I love what I do. I've done it for a long time, and I would love to keep it here. Thank you for the time. We appreciate each one of y'all, and be safe out there. And if you need us, call us.
Barry?
Only words on the 420 South 8. I'm gonna hold my comments until your meeting, because 3 minutes is not enough. I spent a lot of time with this LCC dispatch stuff, and I got a lot more insight, so take one few minutes. Sorry.
Good, appreciate that. Lisa, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm just gonna do it right here.
You're gonna have to speak up. or
Okay.
Come down here where I can hear you.
He's old.
Way.
Don't forget your address.
My name is Lisa Lujan. I live at 416 North 4th Street here in jail. Is that all I have to do for that? In July 2015, my 20-year-old son passed away from an accidentally self-inflicted gunshot. The person that was there at the time of the incident had to run across the street, had to run a couple blocks down the street to Allsups to make the phone call to EMS to get help. During his time there at Allsups, he called 911 3 times, was hung up 3 times. He took the clerk's phone and he ran back across the street and he called the number 2, the Job Police Department, not 911, and he got through and got somebody there. My son probably wouldn't have made it either way, but I know that somebody else, if they were in a life-threatening situation, they would definitely want to not waste any minutes. And I know that if you call 911, you're gonna get Lovington either way, but maybe we can do something to get 911 services here in jail. Thank you.
I can't go into great detail about discussions in the executive session, but I can tell you that everything that was expressed by those that spoke to us tonight were expressed. We live here too, trying to figure out how this works. I wish we had standing room only every council meeting. It would do away with misinformation and disinformation on social media. How many of you are gonna leave when we're through discussing dispatch?
Most of us. That's right.
I think it's important that you understand the workings of your local government and what's here in this body and the effort they put into it. And I appreciate everybody's here tonight and those that spoke too. It's important that side is presented to this body as we try to make a decision on how this community works and how we get to maintain as much autonomy and independence as we possibly can. With that, there's no decision to be made on this particular subject tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and go through the agenda. Council, you have any comments to what you've heard? Okay. Next item on the agenda, got through the public comments, continuation of new business. We just discussed the action on consolidating with LCCA, so we look at the department head report. Van, you're up first.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, City Manager. You got my report, just a few things. We are working with Stantec and